jump from Halo CE to Halo 2 is like the jump from Sonic 1 to Sonic 2. Halo 2 improves on nearly every aspect of its predecessor. I mean, just the amount of new characters, locations, weapons, vehicles, it's insane. The way this game expands its universe is so admirable, and the storytelling on display is simply masterful. There's so many exciting twists and turns, so many memorable moments. Every line of dialogue was written with such significance, such attention to detail, to make these characters shine like diamonds. You got Avery Johnson, the quick-witted and cocky sergeant who's still lovable and has a good heart. This guy always knows just what to say when he's messing with Master Chief.
You look nice.
Thank you.
Yet at the same time, he also has such thought-provoking things to say.
Folks need heroes, Chief, to give them hope. So smile, would ya? Well, we still got something to smile about.
You got Miranda Keyes, who, after the death of her father, proves herself to be an extremely competent Navy commander in his place. Of course, there's Master Chief, who's more awesome than ever before, doing the most insane stuff imaginable in these cutscenes. Speaking of that, can we talk about the cutscenes? These cutscenes are so amazing, so beautiful, and breathtaking, and just filled with detail. I just can't believe how good it is. It's some of the best stuff you'll ever see. It's up there as one of the best visuals of anything. It's just gorgeous. The way things are shot, the way things are framed, the color and vibrancy of it all, it's one of those things that looks better than real life ever could. I don't know what they did to make it look this good, or how much time they spent on this, but there's so many of these cutscenes. I just can't believe how many of these they've done. I just love it. I love it. Just in the beginning of the game, the juxtaposition between Master Chief and the Arbiter is striking, as the scene cuts between Master Chief getting praised and applauded, and the Arbiter getting tortured and humiliated. One being treated as a hero, the other as a traitor. You experience both sides of the story, as you jump between playing as Master Chief and playing as the Arbiter. Notice, however, that the game still never has you killing humans. As the Arbiter, you're tasked with killing the heretics, which are just more Covenant guys who rejected the idea of the Great Journey. You see, the Arbiter you play as is named Thel 'Vadamee, basically the Master Chief of the Covenant at this point. But it wasn't always this way. Looking at the terminals for this game, you learn that 'Vadamee was born into a family who demanded great expectations for his military career, and he surpassed all of these expectations with his sheer power and skill. He became one of the youngest elites to become a shipmaster, and not long after that a supreme commander. He was so clever and formidable that he was responsible for over 1 billion deaths and the loss of 7 human planets. You can see here how much of a threat he was to the UNSC, and how much they feared him.
We cannot predict what he'll do next, but given time, we fear he will dismantle all remaining UNSC strongholds. If humanity wants to survive this war, we cannot do it with 'Vadamee on the field.
Because of the destruction of the Halo Ring, however, 'Vadamee was considered a failure and was completely stripped of his rank, and stripped literally, tortured. He was deemed a heretic and would have been sentenced to death, but was given another chance at life by becoming the Arbiter. What was once the highest honor an elite could receive is now a brand of shame thanks to the Arbiters of old who rebelled against the Great Journey and were promptly executed. During the cutscene when 'Vadamee becomes the Arbiter, one of the prophets mentions the Grunt Rebellion and taming of the Hunters. Luckily, the terminals actually show you what happened. The Hunters were found on one of the moons of the planet Tay after an Arbiter went there to study them. I've always wondered where the Hunters came from, and it's great to see their origin here. The story of the Grunt Rebellion, though, is just tragic. This is where you learn that the Grunts aren't part of the Covenant by choice, but because they were captured and forced to be a part of it. They developed a dispute with the Jackals, which is what pushed them to rebel. This led to their entire home planet being destroyed by their current Arbiter, which they were forced to watch, thus ending their rebellion. It's just sad. I mean, what the heck? You also learn that the heretic you're forced to kill as the Arbiter only turned against the prophets because he realized the truth about the rings, that they're just weapons. He went against their bogus religion and actually tried to spread the word and save the universe. And you kill him. It's pretty messed up knowing you're basically killing the good guys. So you might have noticed somebody else in this footage. It was actually Joey joining me through this playthrough. Joey, what are your thoughts for this game?
I just want to thank you for letting me come along this time, and
Well,
Regarding the gameplay though, it was improved upon combat evolved in the best ways, letting you now dual-wield weapons, which trades the ability to punch and use grenades for double the firepower. On top of this being really strong, it's also just super cool. Going around blasting guys and just destroying them, it's really fun. There's lots of new weapons too, like the battle rifle, the energy sword, the submachine gun, which replaces the assault rifle in this game, the particle beam rifle, the brute shot, the carbine, and the sentinel beam. These are fantastic additions to the series, and they all sound exactly like they should. I especially love the sound of the energy sword being drawn.
oh,
You go through some amazing places in this game. You start on Cairo Station, an orbital defense platform. You make your way to Old Mombasa on Earth, which is an East African city. I will never ever forget the first time I played this level with the Scarab. Your team desperately tries to stop it as it effortlessly climbs over you and onto a building. You make your way through that building until you reach what seems like a dead end, as the Scarab passes you underneath. I thought, where do I go? There's no way I'm supposed to jump on the Scarab, right? But then I tried it, and yes! That is where you go! It was genuinely mind-blowing to me. It felt like something I decided to do in the moment, yet it was planned to play out that way. This is the #1 best example I have of how a set piece should be done in a video game. I just love it so much. As the Arbiter, you visit a gas mine on the planet Threshold, where the heretics are. Another amazing moment happens here, where you cut the cable that keeps the mine in the air. When you do this, the entire place enters into a free fall, so you're fighting guys in this giant structure while it's plummeting deeper into the planet. Then you realize there's another entire Halo ring, and later you learn there's even more. The last game took place on Installation 04, and this ring here is Installation 05. It's lush with greenery and filled with crumbling ruins. It has these moving platforms to cross the water, and a submarine-like elevator ride through the depths, submerged in a thick ambience. You also visit High Charity, the Covenant's capital city. It's this massive space station where billions of Covenant call home. I mean, this place is unimaginably huge. The sheer size of just the interior is incredible. Brutes made their debut here in Halo 2, which is awesome. I'm always a proponent of adding ape-like creatures to any game.
oh my god, I got stuck! He stuck me! What the fuck?
If they get wounded enough, they can go on a rampage, just charging you with all their might. The Flood returns too, gaining the ability to actually reanimate bodies in real time. They can also operate vehicles in this game, which is just... oh god. I especially love the moment when a Pelican comes crashing down, and it turns out the Flood was actually piloting it. Also, the Hunters shoot beams now instead of exploding projectiles, and it makes a freaky sound.
What is that noise?
There's also some really awesome new additions to vehicles in this game. The Banshee now has thrusters and can do some pretty neat tricks. The Ghost also has thrusters now. The Spectre is new to this game, basically serving as a Covenant Warthog. This thing is great. Now, there's not much to say about the music in this game, but there is one track I want to bring up. It's called Ghosts of Reach. It's gentle at first, with a somber feel to it. It makes me think of all those who died during the fall of Reach, as their ghosts linger on, hence the name of the track. But then those drums kick in. The same drums they'd later use in Halo Reach. The same rhythm. And all the memories come rushing back of the moments we shared playing Reach. It's a track that really makes you think. And they had this figured out 6 years in advance. They knew what the sound of Reach would be. And I think that's just incredible. Halo 2 is a game that never stops surprising you with its story. Even when the Arbiter learns about the truth of the Great Journey, the truth of Halo, it's still not enough to stop Tartarus from trying to activate the ring. Even Guilty Spark tells him about Halo, but to no avail. So, as the Arbiter, you fight Tartarus with none other than Sergeant Johnson. After lots of struggle, strife, you finally beat him.
This is the fabled Tartarus?
With its absolutely stunning cinematics and its exceptional gameplay and set pieces, Halo 2 stands as the best of the original trilogy. Halo CE is already a masterpiece, and this just raises the bar to an insane degree. It ends on a beautiful cliffhanger, and you just can't wait to see where the story goes from here.
Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
This was the first toy.